Impact members. I hope you're doing well today. Slight change of plan with today's lesson off the back of an email I received last night asking about warming up correctly. So I kind of wanted to pose the question to you guys, really, what you think is the importance of warming up, what actually is a warm-up, and how do we do it correctly. So I've spent the morning looking after my little boy. He's just got down for a nap, so I've done kind of no sort of physical activity other than him climbing all over me. So I'm going to hit a ball straight out the gate, no warm-up whatsoever. I have the GC Quad here with me, so this will tell me my club head speed and my ball speed. I'll give you that number, and then I'll quickly go through a little bit of warming up and how I warm up and sort of how the Tour Pros warm up, and then we'll look at again after that the difference. We'll hit another shot and see what the difference is in club head speed and ball speed. So here we go, straight out the gate. Hopefully we won't pull a muscle, otherwise it'll be game over straight away. Okay, so can say is that's not a very good idea. I know that much. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so we got here, this was my club head speed, 84.7 mile an hour. Ball speed was 110, so that's how well it's come off the club face, and carry was 153. So that's my first shot with no warm-up whatsoever. That is actually a little bit down for me. I would say on average I'm around about 88, 89 with a 7-iron. And I hit okay, a little bit heely, but yeah. So first shot, no warm-up whatsoever, which is probably similar to like most of us, out the car, grab the club, straight on the first tee. So let's talk a little bit about how we should warm up, and then I'll hit another shot and see where we're at. Okay, so what is a warm-up and how should we warm up? For me, and I think it stems off the back of kind of having quite a lot of coaching when I was younger and learning quite a lot in that respect, almost how to do things the right way. The whole point of a warm-up is to simply get your body into a position where you're going to prevent injury as best you can, and it's to find some rhythm for the day. And for me, I always try and think of it as finding out what shot I'm playing that particular day, what sort of shape of shot I've got in with me. Last thing you want to be doing in your warm-up is working on anything in your game. You don't want to be trying to correct any issues that you've had or working on a lesson that you've just had. You're simply there to pick a target, get a feel for the rhythm that you're looking for, and to just get the body loose. In terms of how I warm up, being a kind of quite a big Tiger Woods fan, I used to watch quite a lot of his stuff and read a lot of his books, and he would always go either odds or evens, and that's something that I do. So I always start with my sand wedge. I'll clip a few shots, just a few loose ones, half swings, half pace, build myself into it. So if I have my sand wedge, I'll be kind of half swings at that kind of rhythm and that speed, and then maybe by ball 6, 7 or 8 I'm almost into more of a full swing on my sand wedge. Then go to my pitching wedge. Again, the first couple, three-quarter pace, and then by ball 6 I'm probably at my full speed. Then into my 8-iron, full speeds, 6-iron, full speed, 4-iron, full speed, and then throughout my woods, probably 5 or 6 shots with each club. I will try and finish with the club that I'm going to use off the first tee. So at Enmore, it's probably a driver. Other clubs, it might be a short hole to start with, so it might be a fairway wood, but I'll always kind of finish with 3 or 4 shots, almost going through my routine as well. So standing behind the ball, picking a target, trying to make sure I get a good feel for that first tee shot. Then basically onto the chipping green, a little bit of chipping, a couple of bunker shots to get a feel for the sand, and then onto the putting green with the last sort of 10-15 minutes. Pace putting to start with, short putts to finish. That's the last thing I want to see, is the ball going in the hole from a short distance before going to that first tee. So I'm going to just kind of spend 5 or 10 minutes off camera, making some swings, getting warmed up a bit. I'll then come back and hit another shot, and we'll look at the difference, hopefully, in the club head speed and the ball speed, and we can see the difference between not warming up and warming up. So we'll be back shortly. Okay, so done a few practice swings, a little bit of loosening up dynamically. So I'm going to hit one more shot, and then hopefully we should see an increase in the club head speed and the ball speed, providing I strike it cleanly. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so we can see here when it just goes back to the club head speed. So the club head speed is an increase of 5 miles an hour after a sort of a 5-10 minute warm up, which is significant. Ball speed, interestingly, doesn't kind of jump as much as it should do, considering the club head speed's gone up 5 miles an hour, and that is basically because I didn't hit it very well at all. I caught the mat slightly first, and therefore the carry hasn't gone as far as it probably should do either. I would be seeing that up around the 165 mark for that club head speed. So as I said in the last video, the importance really of a good solid strike is paramount as well. So, but just to show you that having a warm up will allow you to kind of have that maximum club head speed from the get-go really of your round, rather than kind of by hole 5 or 6 where you've had to ease yourself into it. And not to, and the other importance really of a warm-up is we want to prevent injury really, so we don't want to be getting out of the car and straight on that first tee when we're not warmed up and we've got a chance of pulling all sorts of muscles. Golf is kind of a sport where it's perceived as an old person's game, and they take it up after they've played other sports like football or rugby or tennis and all that sorts of jazz. It's probably the most dynamic motion you'll make in terms of going from a very static position to swinging the club head at, for some people in excess of 100 miles an hour. You are firing your muscles very quickly and then slowing it down very quickly. So a warm-up is absolutely important in allowing you to play your best golf straight from the start, but also avoiding injury, which is probably the most important part of it as well. So just wanted to highlight really and give you some evidence as to show you, the difference in hitting a shot without warming up and a shot with warming up. So we can clearly see that it definitely helps. So if you have any questions on this, then let me know, and we'll catch you tomorrow.